Vroom, vroom.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the latest edition of Sports Frenzy 2.0. I am the maestro, Kevin Crane.
I'm the conquistador, Dave Height.
And as you could tell from the awesome sound effects that Dave put forth, we are going to start off with NASCAR. But first, I would be remiss if I did not tell you that new episodes of Sports Frenzy 2.0 drop every Thursday morning on Spotify, Anchor, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Apple, Overcast, and Castbox. Do not forget to check out our Facebook page. And please, if you love what we do here, our ranting and our raving and our screaming and our yelling about sports, then you will love our weekend edition 10 times more because we do the same thing with cancel culture and pop culture.
Yeah, if you want to check out the latest movies, TV shows, books, music, we got it all covered for you.
And do not forget, if you do like our normal Sports Friendly podcast and the weekend edition, either one,
rate us.
Give us 5 stars. I will come over and I will bake your mom a freaking cake. Okay, well, yeah.
That's not what you said earlier. You were going to mix up the batter.
I'm trying to keep things a little calm this week after last week where you thought the Black Ops helicopters on the weekend edition were going to come after me. Again, another reason to listen to the weekend edition, to listen to me borderline get myself arrested by the FBI.
And there you go.
But like I said, we're going to talk NASCAR in the first segment. Lots of big NASCAR topics to talk about this week. We'll start off with our recap of Dover.
Congrats to Alex Bowman and Hendricks Motorsports for that matter. Holy cow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bowman, Larson, Elliott, and Byron finished in the top 4 spots. That's impressive as hell for the organization.
And that is only the 3rd time a team has done that in Cup history, the 4th time overall, along with what Hendrick just pulled last weekend. We had Peter DiPaolo, I'm sure I'm butchering his name, Peter DiPaolo Racing in 1956 and 1957 at Titusville and North Wilkesboro, respectively. And then, of course...
God, I miss Wilkesboro.
And then we had Roush Fenway in 2005 at Homestead, Miami. And we will get to more news
with Roush Fenway
coming up here in just a minute. But, yeah, our picks went really well. Aaron kind of got hosed by Truex. I know he was probably thinking I'm going to take the pole sitter, and that'll work out well for me, and it really didn't.
It didn't work out well at all.
But everybody else did good. So now the big news was Kyle Busch was the 10th place number, and that's our cutoff for our Frenzy Cup competition. So since he had an awful race, that helped everybody.
Yes, it did.
So now we're all a little bit more comfortable where we are in our standings. We're all in right now. Got to get a 40, 50-point cushion going into that last race at Daytona, though.
Yeah.
God.
I
don't want a super speedway
race. That
could
hose somebody big time.
Yeah. And this week could actually hose some people because are at a track that the Cup guys have never driven at before. The Circuit of the Americas.
Nice race down in Texas. Road course built for Formula One. And Indy's run there. And so this will be interesting to see what the stock cars will do.
So we have 6 of our 8 picks in so far. Jen and Doug, again, they are not late. We are taping here early evening on the 19th. This will post on the 20th, but they have until 10 o'clock tonight. So 5 of the 6 picks we have in are predictable.
Got to go with Chase Elliott for the road course at this time.
Or Truex. I could have seen somebody taking Truex. And the only dissenter right now is Nick, the juggler, is taking Kyle Larson. Not a bad pick. Not a bad pick. I think he's more going with the hot hand. Yeah. Larson's been better than Elliott overall this year.
Right.
But Elliott being, you got to call him a road course specialist now. He's earned that.
Yes, he has.
So we'll see who Jen and Doug take. This is going to be probably going to be a boring week. I can imagine one or both of them taking Elliott. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, and I had this one penciled in a long time ago.
You and me both, bud.
Yeah, I got about, usually out of the first 26, I usually have half of them pretty much set in stone.
A lock of who you want to take.
Yeah, and this was one of them. This was one of them. So now we get on to the news and racing in general, and then we'll loop back to the Roush Fenway monstrous news of today. But Dave wants to talk about some NHRA.
Have to give big congratulations to 72-year-old John Force. Just added to his career events wins at number 152. By far the most event wins by any driver in the NHRA history. This man he's incredible what he's been able to do. Started out as a part-time driver, full-time trucker, and once he broke through with that first win, it just started rolling for him. Started his own team, was abandoned by General Motors at one point. Ford picked him up. Ford abandoned him, and now nothing seems to stop him. Just an incredible work ethic, and he's put a hell of a team together.
And he has also put some incredibly good-looking daughters on the face of the earth, let me tell you that.
He does have some attractive daughters who also race on the circuit.
Hopefully the elder statesman is not listening. I don't want to ruin his reputation.
But there you go.
All right, the big news, and I hit the conquistador with this one.
I missed this
He
one.
did not know this because it just broke this morning. Brad Keselowski, by all reports that I have seen, is leaving Penske for Roush Fenway. It will become Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing as he gets an ownership share. You and I seem to have differing viewpoints on whether this is a good move for him or not. He is supposedly going to take over the number 6 car from Ryan Newman. The other car they have right now is the 17 of Chris Buescher.
It's kind of perplexing. I know the ownership part is probably intriguing to him, but I see this as more of a money grab by Roush Fenway, trying to get their coffers boosted. They've struggled the last number of years, and Penske's kind of been at the forefront there. So I don't know. I kind of question it.
And we don't know yet. I have not seen any confirmation whether Keselowski's bringing his sponsor with him to Roush Fenway, RFK, as we'll now call it.
Yeah.
If I'm getting an ownership share, look at Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin's playing both sides of the coin, and he's got to be raking in money left and right. He's driving for Gibbs. He's part owner with Jordan of Bubba Wallace's car.
Yeah.
So Keselowski might have looked at that and said, damn, I'm jealous of that.
But there's a point where, all right, it's good to be owner, but do you really want to drive for yourself? That's always been the big question.
Right. Like Tony Stewart with Stewart-Haas. He kind of faded into the background there and let everybody else, Harvick, Almirola, Boyer at one point, fill in, and then he stepped back into that management role.
Yeah.
Now, it worked for a while. This year's been an abject disaster for them.
Yeah, they've taken several steps backwards.
You take outside of Kevin Harvick, they're a mess.
Yeah.
I think Tyler Reddick is barely into the chase right now on points. And one oddball win, and he's out.
Yeah, it seems like they have not been able to adapt to the changes to this car this year.
No, and you can also argue that they have not been able to find the younger talent that Gibbs did. Gibbs brought in Christopher Bell, who's already got a win this year.
Yep.
So,
yeah, that's somebody else I flirted with for the circuit of the Americas.
I did too, but then this morning I saw the odds, and he's not even considered one of the top 10 or 12 favorites.
Which you would think is odd after the way he ran well at the Daytona road course and pulled off.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing you were, that Bell would actually be a good sleeper. Now, I would also say, and of course this is coming out of left field to a point, Allmendinger's running this race.
Dinger's a good road racer.
If you're running a fantasy NASCAR team where you've got 4 or 5 drivers and you want to save somebody, because I know in mine I have burned up Hamlin, I have burned up Truex to the point where I've got to hold off on using them here, even though I want to at Circuit of the Americas, because I mean I won't have them left for the last 10 races.
Yeah,
the way things are going. So I've got Allmendinger in there right now.
that's not a bad pickup.
So that's what's always been fun about the road courses. Now, Boris Said is not running. Boris Said was always the guy for 10, 12, 15 years.
Marcus Ambrose was my pick.
he would
really always good. Get you a top 5.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of sad. I think he could still run a road course. Why not?
I would think so.
Juan Pablo.
Yeah. Juan Pablo is always good too.
All right. We don't have a lot of NFL to talk about. We've wrapped up NASCAR, so not a lot of NFL to talk about. I do have one I want to bounce off Dave. He's probably heard this, but the Falcons saga.
Oh my God.
With the fake text and the heartbreak of one young potential defensive back. Or was it an elaborate publicity scheme to get a tryout with somebody else? Wontarius Bryant, former Austin P defensive back, claims that he received a text from Dean Pease, the defensive coordinator of the Falcons, to come on down for a tryout. He got down there, and they said, "What the hell are you talking about? We don't know who you are, and you are not invited for any type of tryout." So he sent out this long explanation, this long text, heartbreak.
And of course, it's all via social media.
Yeah.
Trying to shame the Falcons into giving
or somebody else possibly
into giving this kid a tryout. Wow, why do I think of Manti Te'o's fake girlfriend out of all of this?
That's why this man is the greatest co-host with me of all time. He comes up with the stuff that I did not think of.
That's a phishing scam right there. Trying to get a tryout. Come on, dude.
But like I said, that's it for the NFL this week. Maybe we might have something coming up later with the dumbasses of the week, but
you could.
I would be foreshadowing, possibly.
So, do we want to go the Rodgers watch that the Packers signed another quarterback?
Yeah, I know.
Ben Kurt. What? He was an undrafted pickup in 2018 by aforementioned Falcons. The hell are the Packers doing?
I still think the Packers know what they're doing. I still notice how the Jordan Love draft, when they got him, they moved up to get him in the first round last year. And what did it do? It motivated Aaron Rodgers to become the MVP of the league. I still think the Packers know what they're doing. They're playing mind games. Just like Aaron Rodgers, the master king of Jeopardy. He thinks he's the smartest man in the world. I think this is a great cat and mouse game that we're going to keep watching here for the next couple months.
And you know what?
Still think he's going to end up being the Packers quarterback.
He probably will be. And he's going to play with the chip on his shoulder. And he's going to try and have another MVP season. Or it's just all going to blow up in everybody's face. He won't show up. The Packers won't release or trade him.
Well, June 1 is the key date, because June 1 is when a lot of these contracts become more expendable, I guess is the way to put it, where you don't get the massive dead money hit
right
on your cap like we talked about a couple weeks ago with Nick Foles.
But is there going to be any for this one, since none of it's guaranteed?
Oh, there's some of it guaranteed. It's not. I think it's 14 million, something like that. There is a guaranteed portion that's been prorated.
Okay,
but it's not.
It's not gonna. They're not gonna be on the hook for all that much.
No, I think he's due to make something around 40 million, but only 14 guaranteed. But now I don't know if that carries over into the 2022, the 2023 cap.
Yeah, how far did they prorate it out?
Right. So we'll see if it's team friendly or it's Jamarcus Russell cap hell.
Oof.
Yeah, sorry, we did not look into that. We did not do a deep dive because, frankly, we don't give a shit about the Packers.
No.
Either way, it works for us. Either way, they keep him and they have to pay him $40 million and they can't sign anybody else, or they get rid of him and we finally get a chance to somehow win the NFC North.
Oh my God, that whole division's just going to be a cluster.
I know.
It's going to be so bad.
I know. It's going to be fun to see what Dan Campbell, you heard what he said this week. This guy is the be-all, end-all of great head coaches. He's already, when he had an interview, we already heard about the kneecap stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to buy those kneecaps on our way up.
Oh, now he wants the Lions to bring in a real lion. And he was talking about if somebody upsets them, I don't know if he's talking about an opposing team's press box or what, he was going to send the lion up. He literally said, and have the lion take a dump there.
Oh my God, this guy is going to be awesome for quotes the entire freaking season.
Yeah.
That's going to rank up there with Gundy's I'm a man, I'm 40. Or Mike Leach and the fat little girlfriend.
And he has a mullet, I think, too. I think Campbell has a mullet like Gundy.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think he does.
So this could be good stuff, kids.
All right, we're going to wrap up segment 1 here. Give you a promo, and we'll be right back, kids.
Greetings, sports fans. Listen to the screaming geniuses of Sports Frenzy 2.0 every Thursday as they bring you the thrill of victory and the agony of stupidity on Spotify, Anchor, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Apple, Overcast, and Castbox. And check out the Facebook page, Sports Frenzy 2.0.
Hey kids, it's the Conquistador Dave Height.
And the Maestro Kevin Crane.
And welcome to this segment of Sports Frenzy 2.0. All right, Major League Baseball. I'm leading off with my biggest dumbass of the week, Tony frickin' La Russa, manager of my beloved White Sox. I am so sick of this dried up, shriveled, no account, old school asshat, as he really took issue with Mercedes hitting a home run in the blowout against the Twins the other night. He got a 3-0 cookie, a 49-mile-an-hour pitch right down the middle. What was he supposed to do? La Russa wanted him to take it. No, he crushes a 420-foot monster shot to put the Sox up 16-4. La Russa's comments, big mistake. The fact that he's a rookie and excited helps explain why he was just clueless. But now he's got a clue. You are an asshole. You should be backing up your player. All of his teammates are behind him. Anderson tweets out, stay who you are. Lance Lynn, starting pitcher, comes out and says, they put in a position player. All rules are out the window. It is what it is. And La Russa says, nope, despite the disagreements in the clubhouse, we're not split. I've yet to hear anybody except for the Twins come out and agree with him. These unwritten rules have got to go away. Fucking Tony, forget the unwritten rules. How about you learn the actual written rules? Mr. I didn't know the rules for extra innings on who I could put at second to run. Frickin' alcoholic. Go drink another bottle of wine.
Dude, I can see a vein popping out on your temple right now. But all that being said, they won again today. They're 26-16. We're taping on May the 19th. This will hit on the 20th. 26-16, 3 games up on the Indians. first place in the AL
Yeah.
Central.
And Larissa
tied-
says that he had no problem with the Twins' Duffy throwing behind him. And basically said that if they would have hit him, oh, well, he got what he deserved.
That's where I'm having issues with him. Is
Bullshit
you've got to
on this.
stick up for your players.
I'm sorry, there's a time for sportsmanship and respect, but you're trying to bury the Twins who have been a thorn in your side for the last 20 damn years. You put them out of it. You completely destroy any sense
you force
they
them
have.
to start trading guys in August.
Yeah. If
And
you
give
want to
up.
have this, oh, we got to show mercy. No, bullshit. The object of sports is to bury your opponent. Put in a mercy rule. I'm sorry. You want to throw in a position player to pitch, you get what you get.
Yep.
The
But again,
object is to win,
they are still tied for the best record in baseball
despite their manager.
with the Giants, the
Yeah.
surprising Giants. So
Oh,
that you want to talk about the Mets' Kevin Pillar too.
wow. Yeah. Hit in the face. Nasal fractures. Thankfully, he's all right. Today, they had pictures of him going into the clubhouse with the team and being there for the bench. But, man, you
Yeah.
hate to see something like that. But,
He says that's the second time that's happened to him, by the way.
yeah. And at what point, dude, I think you should be going for the face guard at this point. If you got hit twice, come on. Now, is it time to institute it for everybody?
Including pitchers.
Including pitchers. They've got, I don't know if they're ready to go that far yet, but for sure for the batters, I know in college that's required, mandatory,
Right.
and a lot more batters are starting to have it on their helmets. So it's something to think about. Player safety.
I don't know if I'd make it mandatory, but I would encourage it.
A little bit more than they are.
We can get into the whole making things mandatory in life.
Yeah, and we don't want to go there.
Yeah.
But encouraging it, I would think you would see more of it these days, but we'll see.
Yeah, so the White Sox are the big story this week here with Dave and I. My team, the Cubs, they've been treading water. They're doing okay, 21-20. Right now, they are in second place, believe it or not, in NL Central, 2.5 behind the Cardinals. They've gotten lucky here this week. The Nationals seem like they're fading quick, so they've been taking advantage of that. The Dodgers, we talked about Albert Pujols last week. The Dodgers signed Albert Pujols.
Ugh. I don't know. Do they really have room for him on that team?
This is another one I wish I
That
would have
makes
done
no
more
sense.
research on. I wish I would have done a deep dive on their cap room. How are the Dodgers? I know the Angels are basically paying the vast majority of this deal.
Yeah.
But how are the Dodgers able to afford? All I can figure is Cody Bellinger is still on his rookie deal, and they're going to have to either let him go or let 2 or 3 other guys go, like a Clayton Kershaw, to make room under the luxury tax threshold, because I don't see how the Dodgers can keep paying everybody
The exorbitant sums that
now,
they are.
I know Mookie Betts, there's some kind of deferral in there, so he's not getting the 30-40 million that everybody thinks he is. He's got a Bobby Bonilla contract. But still, you're going to have to pay Bellinger.
Yeah. No, it makes absolutely no sense for the Dodgers to pick him up.
Right. So we'll see what happens there. And 2 big injuries.
Yep. And
Massive injuries. One not expected, one expected.
I don't know that I would say one was unexpected. So
Trout is usually pretty reliable. The problem is the team around him sucks.
4 of the last 5 years, Trout has missed extended playing time.
Then how is he winning the MVP every goddamn year?
He's missed at least 19 games in 4 of the last 5 seasons.
So you're telling me he's out 6 to 8 weeks here and he's still going to win the MVP?
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. This guy is going on what he did the first couple years and all the hype, and here he is hurt again with a strained calf.
Yeah, my problem with him is he's not a leader.
No, he's not.
Nobody's doubting his ability. Ohtani this year is the one that's carrying the
Oh
Angels.
my God, Ohtani is their MVP.
Jesus God. But the other one,
Giancarlo Stanton,
absolutely expected.
completely expected. And I was waiting for the Trout injury too.
I'm not going to say it. I am not going to say it, but I almost a little tiny 0.001% of me feels bad for the evil empire that they're stuck with Giancarlo Stanton.
Yes.
No, I don't feel bad.
No,
oh, come on.
They get what they deserve.
Come on.
They get what they deserve. So now you got to wonder, when's the shoe going to drop on Judge?
Well, that's
Didn't he do for his
the
injury
same problems
too?
that the Dodgers do. Because now what are you going to do? You have got Cole wrapped up. You have got Stanton wrapped up. That's over $60 million going for the next 4, 5, 6 years.
Yeah, on dumb deals.
On top of everybody else you got on that staff.
Yeah.
Now you got to play. What are you going to do with Judge? You're right. What are you going to do with Judge? You're going to give him $30 million? Then you're going to wrap up, 40% of your payroll in 3 guys?
You can't continue to run that kind of payroll.
No.
It's got to break at some point. So,
but again, couldn't happen to a nicer team.
Yeah, I know. And then we've got the Sox going into New York to play the Yankees this weekend. That'll be interesting.
You want to talk about the NHL? Give me your playoff
Well, we've
breakdown.
got the 5th no-hitter to talk about too.
Oh, that's true. Yes, we do.
Spencer Turnbull of the Detroit Tigers no-hits the Mariners on 2 walks. The Mariners get no-hit again. They seem to be everybody's favorite whipping boy.
But the thing is, they're 1 or 2 games under 500. They're not terrible.
No,
it's just when they can hit, they can't hit. I'm shocked the Cubs haven't gotten no hit.
Yeah, and the way they're going at this point. So, what's Detroit's 8th no hitter?
In history, yes.
In history.
Yep.
And it's the first one in how long since not by somebody not named Verlander?
Oh God. Yeah, if you're gonna take out the Verlander one, you're gonna have to go way back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, we talked about this a couple weeks ago with Wade Miley, and we don't have 6, but we should.
We should
because of Bumgarner.
Bumgarner got screwed on that with the 7-inning game.
We're gonna destroy the record.
Oh, yeah. And
for most no-hitters in a season.
Yeah. And you're probably looking at what they're trying in the minors, moving the pitching mound back.
Boy, that's an extreme move, though. That's an extreme move. It really is. I still think a lot of the problem is we're teaching these hitters the wrong discipline, the wrong way to approach batting in the major leagues. We've talked about the stat geeks. We've talked about them. And talked about them, and exit velocity, and WAR, and launch angle.
Play the damn game.
I talked to my neighbor the other day. He and I agree. We're both old school. All we care about, batting average, home runs,
RBIs,
RBIs, strikeouts. I don't care about anything else. I don't care about saves. Saves are overrated. Saves is a garbage stat. Once we got into the late 80s and the early 90s, and we started adding in all these stats and whip.
The metrics are just going way too far.
Billy Bean.
Ruining baseball.
Can kiss my red ass.
There you go. It's getting ridiculous. And that's why you're never gonna see any pitcher go 200 innings in a season again.
No, because we're gonna pamper them.
You're not gonna get 20 wins anymore.
No, Denny McClain, that 30-win season, nobody's ever gonna come close to touching that. Are you kidding me? We get a 20-game winner now. It's a parade in the streets.
Yeah, you're not going to see that happening.
Streamers
anymore.
And floats and chicks and guns and fire trucks. God help us all. We get a 20-game winner, let alone 25 or 30.
Yeah, you're never going to see
but
that.
Now the strikeout record, could be in jeopardy at some point because these guys are just, again, like we were just talking about.
There's no discipline.
They've been taught swing, no shame in striking out.
No shame to strike out.
In striking out.
Swing for the fences every time. Yeah, that sounds well and good, but that's not how you win the game.
No.
You got to get guys on base.
And I've said it, and I will not let my team slide. I've said Javi Baez is the number one example of this. Javi Baez is the number one example of the modern day player. Strikes out 3 times out of 5. The 4th time he grounds out or flies out. The 5th time he hits a home run. So he's a perennial all-star and will make $300 million next year. Somebody will be stupid enough to give him that money.
And he's never going to hit 300.
God. They'll be lucky if they get 260 out of him.
That's pushing it.
And the thing is, this whole team, Bryant's playing well. Rizzo's been poisoned by this. He's still trying. He's still got an on-base percentage around 350. But it's just sad. Bodie, they gave Bodie a long-term deal, granted only $5 or $6 million a year. Bodie is just like Baez. 190 hitter.
Ouch.
190. Oh, but he hits that big home run or he gets that big double every once in a while.
Every once in a while does not deserve a multiple-year contract.
Oh, then he has a 2 for 4 with a home run. Oh, he's a great player. No, he's not.
That's not what you want. You want the guy who can go, get 1 for 3, 2 for 4. You want the consistency.
On base. Get on base. That's what I want.
Exactly.
And get off my lawn. That's right. Old school thinking.
But no unwritten rules.
All right. Now do your hockey stuff.
Oh, now we go hockey. I just wanted to give her, playoffs are underway. Started off. Penguins and the Islanders are tied up 1 game apiece, as are the Capitals and Bruins. Hurricanes are up 1-0 on the Preds. Lightning have a 2-0 lead on the Panthers.
That's the one.
That's the one.
I've been paying attention to that because, to me, those are the two of the 3 or 4 best teams in the NHL right now.
Yeah, they came in hot, and that's going to be a good series. I'm surprised that the Panthers didn't put up more of a fight in either of the first 2 games. Up north, they're just getting started tonight and tomorrow.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but that was my big point of contention.
Is the delayed start for the North?
Why is Canada so far behind the other 3 divisions in America?
Because they had to wait for Hockey Night in Canada, eh?
Are you serious?
I don't know. They probably have some stupid
We have
TV
got series that are already 2 games in.
Yeah, and
they're finally starting tonight.
Yeah.
1 tonight, 1 tomorrow.
Oilers Jets tonight as we tape on the 19th, and then the Maple Leafs and Canadiens on Thursday.
They are going to botch this up somehow. You watch.
Yeah, they will.
By waiting on this, some team is going to sit there and get cold because they're sitting around for a week and a half waiting for this Canadian division crap to play itself out because they started too late.
Maybe it has to do with waiting for the COVID thing.
Yeah, because Canada, talk about paranoia.
Yeah.
Canada can't figure out what they're doing, if they're ever going to let anybody into the state again.
Yeah.
But the Blue Jays have gone from Florida. I think now they're going to go up to Buffalo in baseball.
And play up there at that AAA stadium.
And they're almost in first place. God bless the Blue Jays.
But their home fans cannot enjoy what they have.
The Blue Jays are playing through all this chaos and all this Canadian COVID crap, and they're almost in first place. They're catching the Red Sox.
They are. Those young hitters are really starting to turn it up. And the pitching, if it can come through, they're going to be a force in the East.
Sorry.
So, and then you got the West where Avalanche are up 1-0 on the Blues. And then the Golden Knights and the Wild are 1 game apiece. So, no, this delayed start for the Canadian teams is a joke. I'm glad you pointed that out, too.
I saw that today, and that really ticked me off.
Yeah, I'm writing this stuff down like, why are they waiting? It makes no sense unless they're waiting for the border to open. That's the only thing I can think of.
So your team is not in play here. I'm sorry.
No, the Hawks suck. Right
So
now.
who are you looking at right now? Given what's happened so far, you've seen Tampa Bay jump out to that 2-0 lead on the Panthers. So
The Lightning have been the team to beat going into the season.
well, defending champs, right?
Yeah, they are. And they didn't lose anything. I mean, they're a rock solid team. They've got it all going right now.
Anybody in the West? Vegas?
Vegas, maybe, but I kind of like the Avs.
Well,
kind of what they've been doing.
The Avs were number one seed coming in the West, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Avs maybe, but I just like the Lightning. They're just a solid team, top to bottom, all four lines.
I'll tell you, I don't know much about hockey, but it always sounds like a conundrum to me. But Florida freaking hockey is stellar right now, and I'm telling you, Tampa Bay, I think they're going to go back to back.
They damn well could.
I think there's a lot of talent on that team.
They are,
and of course,
really
Coach
good.
Q
with the Panthers.
Like you said, disappointing that they couldn't at least get a split in those first two.
Yeah.
But all right, kids, that's it for segment 2. The Conquistador and I will be right back. We got a bunch more for you, including some really good Red Foreman dumbasses of the week.
Good stuff, kids.
Hey there, kids. The Sports Frenzy 2.0 podcast is now available on Spotify, Anchor, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Casts, and Breaker. New episodes drop every Thursday. I'm the maestro, Kevin Crane, and along with the Conquistador, Dave Height, we'll pass along our unique takes on the world of sports, along with the usual maniacal ranting and raving you've come to expect from us over the years. And don't forget to check out new episodes of our weekend edition every Saturday morning exclusively on Spotify and Anchor. Movie reviews, television and streaming news, and of course, 2 hard rock fossils trying to save the music we love. As JJ Jimmy Walker would say, it's dynamite! Hey, everybody out there in podcast land. Welcome back to Sports Frenzy 2.0. I am the maestro, Kevin Crane.
I'm the Conquistador, Dave Height.
You can listen to us all over the place. Spotify, Anchor, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Apple, Overcast, and CastBox. You can see our football picks, our NASCAR picks on our awesome, unbelievable Facebook page. Listen to the Weekend Edition. I'm begging you, listen to the Weekend Edition exclusively on Spotify and Anchor. Great insight into pop culture, cancel culture. We will rip apart Hollywood's hypocrisy like we do here with sports hypocrisy.
Shut up and entertain us.
And if you love Sports Frenzy 2.0, please give us a 5-star rating. I will come over and I will change the oil in your beater car. Oh, wait, I don't know how to do that. Dave will come over and do it for you.
Whoa, I'm not cashing any of your checks there, buddy.
All right, we got to mop up some incidentals here on the sports world this week. We've covered all our major sports topics, but the NBA, we don't like to talk about them because they're a bunch of whiny, crybaby brats. And we'll get to Kyrie Irving again in a minute. But Dave and I need to talk about this play-in tourney that started last night. We're taping on the 19th of May, 2021. The Eastern Conference took care of their business for the first night, where the Celtics destroyed the Wizards and the Pacers pasted the Hornets.
Yep, and now the Pacers get to take on the Wizards
to see who gets that 8th spot. The Celtics, by winning, lock in as a 7th seed, so they are going to play the Brooklyn Nets. Who's playing for the Brooklyn Nets? Who knows?
Yeah, it's a crapshoot. Draw the names out of a hat to see who's going to be there.
Yeah. Is Kevin Durant healthy? Is James Harden healthy? Has Kyrie Irving decided to go to a BLM Matters protest?
Or is he going to go on vacation with the family?
Again, they interviewed him the other night, Dave. he says, I'm focused on overseas issues right now, not basketball. And this is on the eve of the NBA playoffs.
Is this a guy you really want playing for you or as a teammate? Seriously, where is your head?
And I don't want to rip on somebody who actually really cares about world affairs. But the problem is with Kyrie Irving, he's trying to play both sides of the fence, and you can't pull that shit. I'm sorry, you can't. You can't sit there and go, I need personal time. I need personal time. Now we're going to the playoffs, but I really am worried about what's going on between Israel and Palestine. Okay, then quit basketball and get into politics.
Become an ambassador.
But stop trying to play both. This is why people don't respect you, Kyrie, is because you're trying to play both, just like LeBron. You and LeBron, figure out what you want to do. If you want to go into politics and change the world, Godspeed. Do it. Good for you. God knows we need somebody better than what we've got right now. You might be better, you might not. Let's give it a shot.
We appreciate that you're trying to stand up for what you believe in.
Yes, and this last press conference was not as bad as you mentioned with the ones where he was taking time off and was seen violating COVID protocols at birthday parties.
Yeah.
He actually sounded halfway sane, respectful, and thoughtful.
Yeah. We don't discount that, yes, there are issues in the world that need to be addressed. But at the same time, you have a job to do, what your main focus needs to be.
Yeah, we're sorry that you can't do everything you want all the time. Nobody can. Okay?
There's a lot I would like to try and change in this screwed up world.
But he has a job. He's got responsibilities. He has a family. I have a daughter. We have to make those the priority. You get at least 2 months off of the year while you're making $30, $40 million per season playing basketball, playing a game. So I'm sorry, you can't play Cry Me a River with me or the Conquistador. Okay? Make up your mind. Are you going to take the money, play the kids' game, or are you going to try to change the world? Because I don't think you have time to do both. And it really offends people like Dave and I that you think you can.
It offends fans across the spectrum.
I would hope it does. If it's just you and me, that's sad. Because I gotta believe people out there are listening to this bull crap he spews and says, enough already. Pick a focus. Family, politics, sport, pick one. And I'm sure there's people out there, why can't he have it all? Why can't he have it all?
Because it's not possible.
You can't focus on all of them. You just can't.
Pick one that you want to make a difference in.
All right, Hall of Fame.
And if anybody can pull off the trifecta, more power to you.
No kidding. Hall of Fame. We saw one of the greatest classes of all time get inducted here recently. But at the same time, I think we had one of the weakest classes of all time elected. Similarities to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I love so much. But of course, we saw Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett get in. They were actually formally inducted. But now this Hall of Fame class that's going to get in next year, Chris Webber. I'm okay with it because they include college basketball.
Yeah.
It's not like football where they stipulate either pro or college.
Yeah, this is the whole gamut.
I'm okay with Chris Webber. because of that and because of that only. If you were going to put him as a pro only, I would have massive issues with that.
Yeah, he was not a great pro.
Ben Wallace,
He
great
was
rebounder, but okay.
great rebounder, great sixth man off the bench.
But Hall of Fame?
That's borderline.
Paul Pierce, okay.
Maybe.
And Chris Bosh.
Really?
Yeah, that's your overwhelming class to be inducted next year into the Basketball Hall of Fame. That, to me, that's
solid
weak.
players.
That is weak.
They're all solid players, but they weren't superstars in their own right.
Again, if Chris Webber hadn't had such a stellar college career and they did not include college with the pro career, like the Naismith Hall of Fame does, I would say this would be by far got to be the weakest class in history.
Yeah, none of them were true leaders
That's
on
the
the
thing.
court.
This is an class if I've ever seen an class.
Yeah, none of them were true leaders.
And this is the time when I will actually look at the Baseball Hall of Fame and go,
maybe they have it right sometimes.
yeah, maybe sometimes you don't have to put anybody in. Because maybe you're trying to make your Hall of Fame a little bit more sacred and a little bit more, I don't know, top level. And football has the same problem. Football always puts in 5 or 6, and then they have to have the extras, the Veterans Committee guys. We'll see. I think this is a terrible Hall of Fame class for basketball.
It's underwhelming.
All right, I'm not going to put him in my dumbass of the week, but it's borderline brilliant what Udonis Haslem did for the Heat. Borderline brilliant. Udonis Haslem has been out most of the year. This past week, he finally got into a game. Finally makes an appearance.
Woohoo!
He gets into a fight with Dwight Howard. Gets ejected 3 minutes into the game.
Why?
Number one, I'm all for anybody that wants to get in a fight with Dwight Howard. That piece of garbage used Orlando. There has never been, to me, he's not detestable in terms of personality, he hasn't done anything off the court to make me hate him, but he is one of those mercenary type guys who jumps from team to team to team to team.
He's a ring searcher.
Just trying to get a championship, just trying to get the best contract he can, pad his stats. And like I said, he used Orlando.
Yeah.
Because Orlando is not a top-tier team in terms of payroll. They cannot afford to pay what a big city team can. Oh, yeah, I'll be with Orlando forever. They may be the number 1 pick. Out the door.
First chance he got.
Got him to the finals. God bless him for that. But yeah, Haslem, 3 minutes into his first game at the end of the season. Of course, we got the playoffs now. The Heat are in the playoffs, so we'll see how that goes.
He's getting his money's worth.
We got the PGA Championship this weekend, so we'll see how that goes. We will do a full recap of that next week. Jordan Spieth and Rory McIlroy are the 2 names I'm hearing as favorites.
Aren't they usually?
Oh, no Tiger, though. Oh, no, what are we going to do without Tiger?
He doesn't have a leg to stand on. Too soon?
Ba-doom-ba. No, never too soon. Never too soon for some good.
But they want him
Tiger
to be
humor.
their associated with
the Ryder
Cup team.
Yeah, I saw that they want him to be the associate coach or something like that. Yeah, great. Oh, and I do want to bring this up. We were talking about hockey last segment. I was trying to do math off the cuff last week when I was talking about that Tom Wilson fine and the Rangers getting fined. I said 5 times, 10 times, 15 times. The fine the Rangers got for bad-mouthing the head of player safety was actually 50 times more than the fine Wilson got. So the math works for me even after I screwed it up.
There you go.
Horse racing.
Again, this one's for you, Doug.
Yeah, we've got a quarterly sports frenzy meeting coming up next week. I hope he shows up. Oh, my God. I will ask them if they can serve him horse meat at the restaurant.
Horse racing is almost dirtier than boxing at this point, isn't it?
Literally, over the last month, we've talked about horse racing more than the previous 30 years on Sports
I
Frenzy.
know.
Bob Baffert
Again.
has been banned from entering horses in New York races, including the third leg of the Triple Crown, the Belmont Stakes.
Interesting.
Now, Medina Spirit was allowed to run in the Preakness this past weekend and did finish third. But you wonder if Baffert doesn't even give a rat's ass because he can't win the Triple Crown. So
what does it matter?
Yeah. Rombauer, I don't know where that name comes from, but Rombauer won the Preakness. All right, some media news before we get to the Red Foreman Dumbasses of the Week. ESPN's involved, so great segue.
Here we
great
go.
segue.
Here we go.
ESPN has been cutting payroll and letting go of people for years now.
Oh, my God. The bloodletting continues.
Yeah, but they somehow decide to give Chris Berman an extension.
Why?
I've never liked Chris Berman. I
know.
have.
This whole thing boggles my mind. They extended Chris Berman, but I know where you're going. They let Kenny Mayne go.
Right, exactly. Kenny Mayne, who had a very quirky sense of humor that I kind of liked.
Kenny Mayne was awesome over there.
And guess who is going to be on the final Sports Center this coming Monday with him on his last show?
Dan Patrick?
Aaron Rodgers!
Oh, God, that's even worse.
I'm sure there's going to be other guys. I wouldn't be shocked
Oh.
at the end. But I know Aaron Rodgers for sure will be on this coming Monday with Kenny Mayne. He's going to find something else. He's got to. The guy.
Kenny Mayne is one of the best guys out there.
He is one of the guys like Dennis Miller when they put him in the Monday Night Football booth where take a swing at bringing in somebody with an off-kilter sense of humor.
And some intelligence.
That can actually add some humor to what can be a very dry medium. Sports media can be very dry.
Yes, it can. And you got to try and bring little something to it.
And Chris Berman going, hey, could go all the way.
Back, gone.
Literally, if I heard somebody with that ringtone, I would probably grab the closest sharp instrument I could and kill them as a mercy for society.
I think I would just take the phone and smash it.
Yeah, I'm with you, though. Kenny Mayne is never offended me. I always thought there was something very funny about him.
Yeah. Berman has always been annoying as hell.
He's trying to be John Madden Jr. is what he's trying to be.
Yeah, and it fails miserably.
Yeah. And finally, and I listened to him last night for a couple minutes, and he sounded really rough. So this doesn't shock me that Marv Albert is going to retire after this current NBA playoffs.
That's probably a good thing.
Insert your joke about biting the back here. All right, dumbasses of the week. The Red Foreman dumbasses of the week.
Here's your stupidity, kids.
I'm going to start off with the Bears head coach, Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy could not be there for the start of rookie minicamp. He had to miss it because he had close contact with somebody who had COVID. My question is,
which strip club did you go to?
How have you not been fully vaccinated yet?
That too. Come on, people. Get the shot. Get the 2 shots. Be done with it.
I can almost understand when some of these younger athletes, 19, 20, because they have recently just opened up for some of the younger people. But Matt Nagy has no excuse.
No, he does not.
He should have been able to go get a shot a month and a half ago. And I don't care about the waiting period between the first and second shot. He had plenty of time, plenty of opportunity to get all this crap done before the start of rookie minicamp, and he failed. Dumbass.
Complete and total. All right. I have got to call out Huskar Noah, Braves starting pitcher, because he had a bad outing at Milwaukee recently. He decided he was going to punch the bench. Lo and behold, what happens when you punch the bench? You break your frickin' hand. Now this dumbass is out 2 months because he fractured his hand. When will these morons learn not to hit things? It boggles the mind.
It's like what I've always said with social media, the 5-second rule.
Yeah.
Take time. Usually with social media, it's 5 minutes, but I would say in the heat of the moment with an athlete, step back for 5 seconds and cool down before you do something stupid.
If you're a baseball player, throw your mitt. Fine. Grab a bat and beat the hell out of the Gatorade tub. If you're a football player, hit the bench or the Gatorade tub with your helmet. Do not use your hands. Do not use your feet to kick anything. The worst thing you can do for your team.
Professional athletes, last time I checked, need their hands and their feet, Dave.
That's what I thought,
Am I wrong about that?
No, you are correct, sir.
A
starting pitcher broke his throwing hand.
I'm so naive about this stuff, but last time I checked, I thought athletes needed their hands and their feet to actually do their job.
Especially a starting pitcher needs a throwing hand.
Unless you're Kyrie Irving, who only needs his mind and his social consciousness.
All right, who else you got?
Last one, wrap it up. My favorite college in America. No sarcasm. We'll get into football season, and you will note that Dave and I are polar opposites when it comes to Notre Dame. I am not a Notre Dame fan, even though I went there. Dave is a Notre Dame football fan, and sometimes basketball fan.
Not as long as Bray continues to be there.
And again, check out our weekend edition, because this is going to tie into concerts as well. I have a big problem with this issue in general, but Notre Dame, the athletic department has decided they are going to switch to mobile ticketing only for football games in the future, and I'm assuming basketball and all other sports, male or female.
Come on! This is bullshit. They had, as we discussed earlier, some of the most gorgeous ticket art that you have ever seen. And these are keepsakes, especially for the kids who are going to their first game. It's insane that you're taking that memory, that piece that they can put in their scrapbook, away from them. Frickin' shame on you. I don't know how many frickin' ticket stubs I have. And,
do you not keep?
I keep every damn single ticket to every game or concert I've ever been to.
There are scrapbooks out there. I bought Mrs. C and my daughter presents at different times of these gorgeous ticket scrapbooks they make.
Yeah.
They're a little bit longer than a normal scrapbook with plastic inserts, because the longer tickets fit in there beautifully, and then they give you room in a little pouch next to it to put a note,
the date,
saying who you went with, the date you went. Obviously, that's on the ticket,
yeah, but sometimes on the tickets for concerts, they don't have the opening acts, so you can write the note in there who opened.
But things that might have happened, people you might have seen that you hadn't seen in a while at a football game or a concert. You are sucking the life, the fun out of these events. And now, my big concern is, and we'll probably get into this more in the weekend edition at some point, because I know they're going to do this. We had this problem with Iron Maiden a couple years ago, you and I did.
Yeah.
When
Or
we
the-
did not buy tickets because they said you either buy digital tickets or you don't
get
go.
nothing.
Are you now going to force not only, I'm not trying to compare this to COVID because that's a pandemic, but you're forcing people to get vaccinated to go to a concert or a sporting event. Now you're going to force people to buy a smartphone. Now you have to have a smartphone. What if I don't want a goddamn smartphone? Now you're telling me I can't go to a Notre Dame football game because I don't own a smartphone?
No, you have to go with somebody who does.
That's horseshit on toast.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
We're getting to the point now where you are forcing people down
to spend
too many
money
paths.
that they shouldn't have to spend.
Right. I am not a communist. I am not a Marxist, but we are starting to get to a point where class warfare is in the offing, the rich and the poor, because this kind of crap is forcing people to have to spend money on a smartphone. Maybe they can't afford it. Maybe they save up all year to go see Notre Dame versus USC, Notre Dame versus Miami, Notre Dame versus Michigan.
This could be the one thing that they spend their hard-earned money on instead of taking a 2-week vacation.
And now
somewhere.
they have to go out and buy a smartphone that they can't afford. Yes, people still do have flip phones, believe it or not. Now they have to go buy a goddamn smartphone because Notre Dame says so. Shame on you, Notre Dame. Shame on you. Is that it?
I think so.
Okay.
Thanks, kids. We appreciate you listening.
We love you. Check out the weekend edition because we're going to tape that right now.
And rate.
Rate us 5 stars. I will come over to your house and make you my world famous habanero mac and cheese.
Oh, it's good stuff, kids.
It is. We love you. We'll see you next week. This is the Conquistador, Dave Height.
This is the Maestro, Kevin Crane.
Check us out next week, kids. Bye-bye.